Aquarius, what's going on? I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. My name is Mel and welcome to my channel, Divine Feminine Works. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, Aquarius. So this is going to be your September 2020 tarot reading. Hopefully September has been good to you so far. Hopefully nothing too crazy has been going on. I mean, we have enough craziness in the world right now. Hopefully that isn't seeping into your personal life. Speaking of personal life, before we get into the tarot reading, let's get into the astrology of September 20, specifically for you, so that we can see exactly what's going on, what you need to be aware of, and what you need to prepare for. So this month, we've got three major things that are happening. First, we have Mars going retrograde, and at the time that I'm filming this video, Mars has already gone retrograde. It went retrograde yesterday, but yeah, Mars has gone retrograde on September 9th. We've got Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn going direct on September 12th. And then we have Saturn also in the sign of Capricorn going direct on September 29th. So with these three planets, you're going to experience a shift in energy. One planet, Mars, is going retrograde, which for all intents and purposes, it's almost like Mars will be going backward. While Jupiter and Saturn, who were going backward for the last couple of months, is now going to start going forward. So it's going to be this weird energy shift, for lack of a better phrase. So let's start with Mars. So Mars initially entered the sign of Aries back in June. And Aries is your third house of communication, ideas, siblings, your neighborhood, techniques and skills, and all of that kind of stuff. So what does that mean exactly? Mars is the planet of aggression. It's the planet of endurance, stamina, physical activity, conflict, war. All of those things fall under the purview of Mars. And when Mars entered your third house, you may have found that you may have had more conflicts and aggression towards your siblings and or neighbors and or community members. You may have found that you became very defensive, especially in the way that you spoke to people. So you might have had a lot more verbal arguments once Mars entered Aries. Your viewpoint and your opinions and ideas, you were probably very headstrong about them, very opinionated, which probably irritated the people around you. So needless to say, once Mars entered Aries, you might have had quite a bit of conflicts with people around you, particularly, like I said before, siblings, could even be extended family members like cousins or things like that, or just people in your local vicinity, people that are within your actual area. So now that Mars is about to go retrograde, that aggression, that drive, that force that you were feeling is going to lessen, and it's going to decrease in intensity. It doesn't mean that there won't be any more conflicts. It just means that push, that drive, that fire that Mars is typically known for is just not going to be available to you. But still, you want to definitely avoid getting into conflicts with people because it definitely won't help the situation. A lot of people are going to be feeling this Mars retrograde energy. So expect people to be uncomfortable, to be aggy, to be irritated. So you don't want to agitate. You don't want to rock the boat any more than it already is. That's a word to the wise. So next, we've got Jupiter and Saturn going direct in the sign of Capricorn. And this is happening in your 12th house of solitude, rest, and retreat. The 12th house can be a little mysterious and oftentimes misunderstood. It's the house of confinement, and by confinement it means isolation. So literally being by yourself, or sometimes it means confinement like jail, like hospitals, mental institutions. Some people call it the house of your undoing. So sometimes the 12th house can be categorized as like karma coming back to bite you in the ass. Other times it really could mean just rest. It could mean sleeping, dreaming. Dreaming is also, it falls under the purview of the 12th house. But overwhelmingly, the 12th house is about solitude. And it's also about spirituality. It's also about how you connect with source, how you connect with God, Buddha, Allah. Whoever you connect to is how you connect to them and actually connecting to them. So this part of your life has probably been going through some ups and downs, or some upheaval, or just some weird changes. It also rules the subconscious. So a lot of things from the past may be coming up to the surface in order to be dealt with. And dealt with in a way that's permanent. So if you've been holding on to a lot of aggression, if you've been holding on to a lot of grudges perhaps, or feelings of insecurity or inadequacy, those are coming up, which can be very uncomfortable. But it's coming up in order so that you can release them for good. You're going through almost like a complete spiritual overhaul. And a lot of the muck that a lot of us tend to bury or repress in ourselves is coming up for you, Aquarius, so that you can let it go, release it, and start anew. So needless to say, this area of your life has gotten a lot of attention, and it's gotten a lot of energy from the planets. We have Jupiter and Saturn conjunct here, but also Pluto is conjunct Jupiter and Saturn as well. So you have these three planets all clustered together, mixing and mingling their energies in this area of your life. So needless to say, it's been traumatic for some of you. It's been very difficult and uncomfortable, and it might also be very enlightening in a very profound and sort of soul-focused way. But back to the matter at hand. We've got Jupiter going direct and Saturn going direct. So like I was saying before, when a planet is going retrograde, its normal energies, the way that it normally operates, is it recalls itself. So meaning that Jupiter is a very positive planet, right? It gives gifts, it gives abundance, good fortune, luck, all of those things. But when Jupiter is retrograde, it doesn't have the energy to give those things because that energy is debilitated. And Jupiter has been debilitated in your 12th house since May of this year. So in all of the ways that you could have been blessed, and all of the ways that you could have been given gifts and abundance as it pertains to your 12th house matters, you just weren't experiencing that in the last couple of months. On the flip side, Saturn is almost the opposite of Jupiter in terms of energy. Saturn, whereas Jupiter is very giving, positive, abundant, Saturn is concerned with doubt, fear. It's where you get obstacles, it's karma, it's things taking a long time. It's what else when it comes to Saturn? Oh, it was on the tip of my tongue. Things taking a long time. It's hard lessons, life lessons, the school of hard knocks. That's what Saturn is. And Saturn is like that. You know, we need that in life. We can't have positivity all the time. Sometimes you need that negativity in order to develop yourself, in order to develop your character. And that's exactly what Saturn does. But when Saturn was retrograde, Saturn didn't have the energy to do any of that. So in that area of your life, whereas before Saturn went retrograde, when Saturn was direct earlier this year, you may have been experiencing a lot of setbacks, some roadblocks, obstacles, especially if you're dealing with 12th house matters. I'm almost positive that you guys were feeling self-doubt. You were feeling fear. You were uncomfortable. All of those things that are attributed to Saturn, you just weren't feeling them from May until now because Saturn was debilitated. But now Saturn is going direct. So now you've got two planets smushed together along with Pluto. I'm not even going to get into the full explanation of Pluto, but Pluto is death and rebirth. So any changes that are going on with 12th house matters, it's permanent and it's profound and it's life-changing and transformative. But anyway, you've also got Jupiter and Saturn next to each other. Their energies are melding. So you've got positive and negative right next to each other, which kind of balances it out. But the cool thing about it is that, and the one thing I'm noticing with this energy as it plays out, is that good karma is almost instantly rewarded. But on the flip side, bad karma is almost instantly punished. So keep that in mind as you move forward and as Jupiter and Saturn remain conjunct. That's a good thing to know, because you're going to see it play out in your personal life and you're going to see it play out around you. So other than all of that stuff, of the mundane variety, we've got the sun. The sun, moves through each sign every month. So the sun is currently in Virgo, and that is your 8th house. Your 8th house is your house of sex, transformation, and shared resources. So at this time, and up until September 23rd, you guys might be focused on intimacy and partnerships, sex, obviously. Shared resources could be, joint funds with your spouse, could be a loan that you get from a bank. You could be focusing on tax issues, inheritance issues, mortgage issues, all of that stuff. If that doesn't apply, you might just be undergoing some serious change that is life-changing. I mean, apart from all the stuff going on in the 12th house, a lot of things in your life just may be changing right now and maybe in flux. Now, once September 23rd hits, the sun is going to move into the sign of Libra, which is your 9th house. And the 9th house is all about higher education, long distance travel, and also spirituality in a sense. It has to do with, the 9th house concerns itself with religion, with philosophy, with higher levels of learning. They also call the 9th house the house of the super conscious. It's the consciousness beyond your own body, beyond all the 3D things that you know. So when the sun moves into that sector of your life, expect to maybe be taking trips or maybe be feeling the need to take a trip. You may be focused on higher education, such as at college or university, or just learning new things. I mean, the 9th house is also about broadening your horizon. So for September through October, you just may want to experience new things, experience things that are foreign to you. So that's what's going on for you, Aquarius, astrologically speaking, for the month of September. So let's get into the tarot reading and see what messages Spirit has for you this month. Let's get 3 cards here for Aquarius. This is for September 2020. Okay, we got 1. I wanted to come out, but didn't. 2. Let's get 1 more here. There we go, 3. All right, so we've got happy. All right, nice. I love the depiction of this girl. She really actually looks happy. Oh, and I love how, you see how she's got all those stars around her? That's you, Aquarius. The star card in Tarot is Aquarius. So I feel like this month you are actually going to enjoy a good deal of happiness. That's great. We've got no place like home. And we've got chaos and conflict. Okay, Aquarius, the thing that I'm hearing right off the bat is like, I heard identity crisis. Remember I said that you're experiencing a lot of energy and a lot of upheaval in your 12th house. And the 12th house is about a lot of repressed emotions possibly coming up. It's about yourself on a soul and a spiritual level. And I feel like when it comes to that aspect of your life, in the past, it's almost like you had an identity crisis. I say that because look, this is a zebra, right? And I don't know if you can see it up close. There we go. It's almost like it's got the markings of a giraffe, But those markings are starting to come off, and you can actually see the zebra's skin, how the zebra is supposed to look or typically looks. I feel like that's what's been going on with you on a spiritual level. You have been, and I'm not saying this to be mean, or not saying this as like a dig at you, but I feel like you've been wearing a mask in a certain way. There's a certain way that you've wanted to appear. There's a certain, Aquarius, you guys are also pretty social. Even though a lot of people say that you guys are emotionally detached, you guys are pretty social. You like to network with a lot of people. And I feel like in order to fit in with a particular group of people, there's a certain mask that you've been wearing, or that you were wearing. And this whole upheaval in your 12th house is getting you to see who you really are. And I feel like this no place like home and being happy. Remember I said these stars, this is Aquarius. You are actually happy because you're realizing where you actually belong. You're getting real about your identity, real about how you identify yourself, real about how you identify yourself in a group and among other people. And you're finally taking that mask off and being your true self. And you're connecting back to home, whatever home is for you. And when I say connecting back to home, I feel like it's on a spiritual level. And in doing so, yeah, okay, what I just heard is a lot of you are tapping into your roots, into your ancestry, into your roots. You're talking to your ancestors. Some of you may be delving into spirituality like your ancestors did. Whatever spiritual practices your ancestors, or where you come from, whatever they were doing, you're starting to do that. And not only are you finding your true self, it's making you really happy. You are really happy. What do we have at the bottom of the deck? Can't even make this up. New life. You've got a new lease on life. Once you take that mask off and you identify as who you really are, the doors are wide open and you are thrust into a new life and a new world. Let's get some more cards out here. The Tower. Before things get better, they have to get worse. Whoa, this eye is so like foreboding. Look at how big that thing is. Yeah, I feel like you have just watched this tower crumble and you are in amazement. Your spiritual beliefs, your spiritual practices, how you view yourself, how you connect with Source, it's completely changed. It's undergone a complete demolition, which is a good thing because now you can build a new foundation, a new structure based on who you really are. But you've experienced a severe tower moment in your life that was scary as hell. Because not only does this eye look scary, but if you look at the bottom, there's this fire-breathing monster. Some of you have been battling your inner demons. And that shit is intense. Some of you have really been doing that, and you've lost yourself in the process. You've lost yourself in order to regain yourself, if that makes sense to you. Let's move forward. What was I just saying? The devil. Yeah, some of y'all are battling some serious demons. See how these people are almost trapped in these bubbles? The mask that you were wearing and the people that you identified with had you really stuck. They had you really, really stuck. Almost like under somebody's foot. For some, it literally could have been the devil. For others of you, it could have been, I'm getting like some of you like a cult leader. Or just materialism. Capitalism, materialism really had you stuck. And even, this is even playing out in society right now. with the breakdown of our society, it's liberating. This is playing out on a grand scale, and it's also playing out on a smaller scale in your life, Aquarius. But yeah, you were seriously stuck with whatever you were doing before. Let's get another one here. We've got the High Priestess. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, a lot of you have gone within. You've had no choice but to go within. A lot of you have connected to divine feminine energy. Regardless of whether you are a man or a woman, I feel like a lot of you have connected. This is what I mean by source. The divine mother. We all come from a mother. Again, like I said before, your ancestry and where you come from are playing a very big part in your life right now. You're returning to your roots, and you're tapping into the divine feminine within you. Let's get another one out here. The Star, that's you. In Tarot, chronologically speaking, the Tower comes first, and then comes the Star. It symbolizes that things built on a faulty foundation are not going to last and are going to have to crumble. But after the destruction comes hope and healing. And this is exactly what's playing out in your life. After this destruction, after this mask off period, there's healing here. In the waters of the Divine Mother. I hope I'm making sense. Really do. All right, let's move on. We've got two here. No, we've got too many. Ace of Cups. Water overflows. A relationship is renewed. This devil energy that you were stuck in is being cleansed. You've got mostly major arcana out here, so Spirit is really working on you. That's all indicative of this 12th house energy. Spirit is really working on you right now. There's so many of the cards that have come out right now. None of these cards are action cards. None of these cards are cards that indicate that there's something that you need to be doing right now. And again, that's super indicative of the 12th house, because the 12th house is about rest. It's about recharging, but recharging and resting so that Spirit can work on you. And that's exactly the advice this month. Rest and recharge, because Spirit is working on you. And we've got Five of Cups. Now, this is the only card that's come out that speaks to something that you can do or that you are doing. And the Five of Cups speaks to regret. It speaks to sadness, disappointment. I feel like some of you are just feeling this way because these are the things that are coming up to be healed. These are the things that are being cleansed by the water of the Divine Mother. Let them come up. Don't suppress them. Don't fight them. Don't wallow in them either, but let them come up because they need to come up to be released for good. Look at this. And then at the bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the Ten of Cups. Complete emotional fulfillment. You go from the 1 to the 5 to the 10. Complete emotional fulfillment. Like I said, things are being broken down in order to be built back up better. There's hope and healing that you're undergoing here, Aquarius. And it's beautiful. Let it happen. Let it happen. All right. Let's get some more cards out here. Let's get one on the Tower. We've got the Lovers. And this doesn't mean a romantic relationship. This means things that you were bound to. Again, with this Devil energy. For some of you, it may have been lovers. And you may have had a lover that was another Aquarius or a Capricorn. But for the most part, I feel like these are things that you attached yourself to. Like I said before, a lot of you were wearing this mask in order to fit in with a particular group. And that is what is being destroyed right now, so that you can find your true identity. Let's get one on the Devil. We've got Mature Man, and this is very indicative of the Devil energy. The Devil energy is, the Devil card in Tarot is Saturn. Saturn is old man time. It's an old man. And I feel like here, this signifies to me that you've been part of this group. You've been stuck like this for a very long time. Some of you are mature. Some of you do have gray hair. That's how long you've been in this vicious cycle of whatever this is that's being destroyed right now. Yeah. You've been in this for a long time. This group has not been beneficial to you, and that's why it's being destroyed. Your attachment to it is being destroyed, let me say that. Let's get one on the High Priestess. And you are really, I mean, you guys are an air sign, and you guys are very cerebral. Although you, generally speaking, tend to think outside the box, a lot of you don't necessarily use your intuition in a very prominent way in your lives. And I feel like now you're starting to do that. In your new life that's coming up, your intuition is going to be so lit, and it's going to guide you everywhere. And I see you guys really tapping into it and listening to it more. Let's get one on the High Priestess. Message. Yeah, like I said, you're going to be tapping into it a lot more. You're going to be following a spiritual path that's going to require you to use your intuition. It's going to require you to really tap into that. And you're going to be doing that like all the time now. It's going to be a regular part of your life. Let's get one on the Star. We got two here, so I'll take them. We've got Thoughts and Marriage. Don't know if you could see that too well. Yeah, it's like now that you're undergoing this healing, a lot of you are going to really think about the things that you bind yourself to. That could be marriages. It could be partnerships. It could be groups. It could be ideas. But whatever it is, you're going to give serious thought to what you attach yourself to. And I feel like, especially while this 12th house transit is going on for you, which is going to be a while, by the way, you're definitely going to be thinking about all of the attachments that you have in life. You're going to be thinking and reevaluating and reexamining those attachments and whether they're of your highest good or they aren't. Let's get one on the Ace of Cups. We've got Coffin, which obviously signifies a death and ending. For some of you, I'm hearing that there is going to be a relationship in the general sense, not necessarily romantic, that's going to present itself at this time or in the near future that you're going to decline because it's going to be of the same caliber of relationships that you're trying to detach from. For others of you, this just signifies that you are undergoing a rebirth. a renewal, almost like a baptism is what I'm seeing. Especially with this dealing with your 12th house, it's like you're going to be baptized and reborn. Reborn and then baptized. You know what I mean. Let's get one on the 5 of Cups. There we go. Official person. Nice. Yeah, there's a leveling up that's happening for you. In this new life that you're going to be having and experiencing, like, I hear like certified. You're going to be like certified. You might be certified in something in particular, or just have this regality to you. But it's definitely a leveling up, which is great. And then we have at the bottom of the deck, imprisonments. This is 12th house energy. If you remember what I said before, it could signify prisons. It could signify confinement. A lot of you guys are confined right now. Some of you, I don't feel like some of you are going to jail. I just feel like some of you are really going to be confined wherever you're at. Some of you may be in jail. I don't get like someone is going to jail. You're either there already or you're just confined. Like you might just be confined at home. Look at how this house is just isolated from everywhere else. How it's just up above the clouds and there's nothing around there. Some of you actually may be going on a retreat to someplace secluded, someplace really quiet where you can like escape from the world so that you can really think about these things. All right, let's get 3 astrology cards to close out the reading. We've got Aries, like I spoke about before. Mars is about to go retrograde in Aries, which is your 3rd house. So definitely pay attention to siblings. Pay attention to neighbors, community members, communications, ideas. My advice from before, definitely don't get into any arguments with anybody. You know, be easy and just ride it out. We've got 5th house of passion. 5th house is Gemini. Okay, this is what I'm hearing. For some of you, like I said before, there's going to be a relationship that presents itself around this time. I feel like this person may be a Gemini, or this relationship may be of romantic nature, but I don't see you accepting it. I don't see you entertaining it because, again, it's indicative of the things that you're trying to detach yourself from. Let's get one more card here. We've got trine, which is flow. Trine as an astrological aspect is all about just letting things flow. It doesn't require any effort on your part. Things just naturally fall into place. And if you remember what I said before, and at the bottom of the deck, we've got Jupiter. Again, Jupiter is expanding. Jupiter is going direct on the 12th. So this is really speaking, this Jupiter energy is really going to be affecting you in a very positive way. But like I was saying before with trine, at the beginning of the reading, I said that you had a lot of major arcana, which means that there's not much that you have to do. And that's exactly what this is saying. It's saying, let spirit work. Spirit is working on you right now, especially if you are being confined, especially if you're on retreat or you're just retreating from the world. Let spirit work. Let spirit work on you, because the end result is a brand new life where you are actually truly happy and fulfilled. All right, Aquarius, that has been your reading for September 2020. I hope that you were able to get at least one message from this reading. If you'd like to book a personal tarot reading or order an astrology report from me, those links are in the description box below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead where I do a quick and dirty tarot read on the upcoming energies for that week. I also have a lot of cool content on there, so definitely follow me so you don't miss any of that. Speaking of follow, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for this channel, because I also have another series on here called The Stargazer, where every week I do just a quick and brief astrology forecast for the upcoming week so you know what to expect and how to prepare. So definitely check that out here. As always, Aquarius, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. If you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, that link is in the description box as well. As always, it is a pleasure and a privilege to read for you. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.